What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsYJr. here with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a special guest in the building, Mr. Michael Badejo from Texas Southern. He is just fresh off the HBCU Legacy Bowl down in New Orleans. He is gearing up, preparing for the NFL draft. Got his pre-draft stuff going on. Michael, how's it going, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you having me.
Hey, it's no problem at all. It's no problem at all, Mike. You like I said, you played in the HBCU Legacy Bowl, the inaugural HBCU Legacy Bowl. But before we get to that, I just want to ask you about your time at Texas Southern. Before you got to Texas Southern, you were at SMU. What kind of went into that decision to leave SMU and go to an HBCU in the SWAC, Texas Southern?
Yeah, I think it was just what was best for me. Being at Texas Southern, it just felt at home. Playing with former teammate Devin Williams from high school. We just got that great chemistry. And then also playing with getting coached by Coach Blacklock. He recruited me out of U of H. So me and him already have like a incredible relationship. So going from there, I just felt at home and being at Texas Southern.
So what was the biggest transition, man, going from a school like SMU to an HBCU? What was that HBCU experience like for you, someone who actually did really well at Texas Southern? But what was kind of like that transition, and what was, you would say, your biggest takeaway?
I felt like myself, being at home from my high school and being at Texas Southern is probably like the same thing. Just being at home, being around, mind like people like me, people that want to go get it and be successful, being at SMU, it was a great opportunity as well for me. I made a lot of connections, players, coaches, people in the staff, but Texas Southern was just for me.
Now at Texas Southern, you were second in the team with sacks, second in the team in tackles for loss. Just for your game, for people that may or may not have seen a lot of your game, how would you describe the way you play on the field, and what can you ultimately bring to an NFL franchise?
Yeah, I think for me, I just bring a lot of energy. I feel like nobody can compare with that. I'm very relentless, and I'm very aggressive when it comes to just being on the field. I want the offensive lineman to know that I'm here. I want him to feel my presence. So I think that's the biggest thing when other teams do their scout report on me. I feel like I want them to fear me.
Hey man, those aren't bad qualities at all, man. That's some really good things. Once again, we're talking to Michael Badejo from Texas Southern. He is an NFL draft prospect. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Now, Mike, I want to ask you. You were playing in the SWAC for some years, and then there was a man that went over to Jackson State named Deion Sanders. It seemed like HBCU football was put on a different pedestal. Did you see a difference? What was the biggest difference that you saw from Deion Sanders coming to the SWAC as opposed to before he got there?
Yeah, I think it was a big difference. Before when I got there, it wasn't like a lot of recognitions for the SWAC or me. When Deion got there, he just changed the game. Even though he wasn't my head coach, but just for anybody, he changed the game. He changed the outcome. He changed the look of how you look at the game now. Now you got players that has an opportunity to go to an HBCU combine, an HBCU legacy bowl. All this stuff wasn't here. You got to give your credit to Deion just for doing that.
Absolutely. Now, Mike, you talked about the HBCU Combine. You talked about the Legacy Bowl. Just tell me about that experience. This is the inaugural for both of those events. What was that experience like, being able to participate in those events?
Man, it's a blessing. It's a dream come true. We really set the landmark for people who's next, whoever's coming next. It's just an amazing feeling. Me building connections in there from players all around the world. Meeting Doug Williams, like that was just a blessing as well. Just everybody, you're playing with the best of the best, and you just meet amazing people. Like I don't know, there's just so much to explain with that, but it's just amazing.
Nah, absolutely, man. Because I mean, you guys really got a NFL type experience. You went through interviews, you went through meetings, you went through drills, you had practices. Just what was like? Did that kind of give you a glimpse of what it's like to be an NFL player, or kind of what was that like in meeting some of those? Were you able to meet some of the scouts and talk to them, and what kind of was their feedback to you from the week?
Yeah, I feel like it was a dream come true when it comes to you performing, doing what you normally do, and then after practice you get a scout that pulls you to the side, and you get like a 5-10 minute interview, and it's just like, man, this is always what I wanted to do. Then how our schedule was, we'll talk to more scouts from like 9 to 10 at nighttime. So you'll get like a text or a call saying you gotta come down there and talk to this scout. And then that's when you get more in depth with the scout. You're talking to them for about 10 to 20 minutes. But, you know, just the overall scheme of it, it's an amazing feeling. It's a dream come true just to know that you got a scout that actually sees what you're doing, you know. So it's a pretty cool feeling.
Now, getting out there on the field, getting out there playing the game, what was that experience like? What was it like going against some of these guys that you've competed against or maybe haven't been able to compete against and that are all working for the same thing to be able to play professional football?
Yeah, like I said before, you know, you're going against the best of the best in HBCU. So it's always a good feeling to know that, hey, this guy on the other team, shoot, he's probably number one in his conference. So let me go out here and show him that I'm number one as well. So it's a good competition, you know, to do good on good, you know. And shout out to my boy Nino. His name's Nathaniel Hines, Texas Southern offensive tackle. Me and him kept going back and forth, you know, during practice and stuff. And then when it came to the game, it shows that he was ready and I was ready as well.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you that, Michael, just who were some of the people that outside of yourself and your teammates, who were some guys that you were like, yo, like he really might improve this draft stock, or yo, this guy was pretty impressive. Who were one or two guys that maybe stood out to you even as you guys were competing out there?
Yeah, definitely. You got so I was really close to my D-line group. So watching them go through one-on-ones, you got guys like Savion Williams from FAMU. That guy's crazy. He got a lot of energy, man. He plays with a lot of energy. Then you guys got like a guy named Kalen Davis from UAPB. A guy comes with a lot of energy. He's a crazy man. He just be jumping around everywhere. He got a lot of energy. But you know, you got guys like Kill Glass and D. Anderson, you know, quarterback, wide receiver. You know, they got a great connection, and just seeing them ball together again, like it's just an amazing feeling.
Once again, we're talking to Michael Badejo out of Texas Southern, NFL draft prospect. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Now, Michael, just going through this draft process, what's like the next step for you? You had all the HBCU, the All-Star events. Kind of what is the next steps? What takes in play? Are you still training? Like, how does that work moving forward?
So right now we just got done with that bowl game, so I'm more so going through like my recovery phase right now, like active recovery. So doing that right now, and probably like a week after I'll get back to my pro day training and go from there.
Okay, so pro day. What does pro day training look like for you? I mean, I know you're still recovering, but what does it take? Walk me through the pre-draft process. Most of us have never and will never go through nothing like this. But how did the workouts? How did that work out? Like as far as talking to your agent, working out. What time do you have to wake up, get to work? Like, walk us through that.
Yeah. So basically, if a pro day training, you're pretty much getting up at 6 a.m. pretty much every day, which is not too bad, but you know it's pretty cool. Then you'll go to the training facility, you'll stretch, warm up. We'll do that for probably like 30 minutes. Then we'll go into doing a lot of band works and working on just little details when it comes to like your 40 starts to your broad jumps, your L drill. We always do that bench, your warm up with bench. Just pretty much you're working on all the little details going into what you got to do for your pro day.
Absolutely. Now, Michael, outside of the NFL, there are other leagues. There's the USFL, there's Canadian Football League, there's the XFL that's emerging this year. Are those options that you're also looking at as possibly like, say, hey, I don't get my name called on draft day? These other, football outlets, other ways to play professional football. Are you taking those into account as well?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because always as a prospect, you want to go to the NFL, obviously, but not everybody makes it there. So obviously, my mindset is making it there, but also my mind is obviously open to all those other leagues as well. My agent, he reached out to all those other leagues as well, and we're hearing good feedbacks too. So I'm really open, to just wherever I go, it happened for a reason.
Absolutely. And just because you start off at the USFL or the XFL, it doesn't mean that you won't ultimately end up in the NFL. So that is also something that folks must take into consideration. Now, Michael, outside of football, what are some of the things that you do to kind of, chill out, relax? Are there any hobbies, any special talents that you might have that people may not even know about you?
Yeah, definitely. I think my biggest thing is I like just relaxing, just chilling with my girl. We like watching TV. Then my biggest thing too, I like messing with car parts. I got a Dodge Charger, so I like messing with car parts. Just blasting music. It just kind of like ease all the pain away, take my mind away from football. Just working on my car, just performing the craft on my car.
What kind of car do you have and what you're working on?
I got a Dodge Charger. It's the 2011.
Okay.
It's probably faster than any SRT, any Hellcat out there right now.
What'd you do to it? How'd you soup it up?
I put some cams on there. Supercharged it just the other day. Yeah, so I'm doing a lot of stuff right. I'm still doing some research on some other things I can put in there. I don't want to blow the car up now.
Yeah, man, don't get no tickets on those freeways out there, man. If you don't go too fast out there, it's dangerous. What are some of the shows you and your girl like to watch? I watch a lot of TV with my girl too, though. So one of the things we're watching right now is Love Is Blind. I don't know if y'all into that, but like that's one of the shows. What about you all?
Yeah, we watching Euphoria right now and
Okay.
Euphoria and Power right now.
Power's tough, man. Power's one of my favorites out there. Once again, we're talking to Michael Badejo out of Texas Southern, NFL draft prospect, man. Like, okay, Mike, I want to ask you, man, when were you first, like, what first got you into football? Who got you into football? When did you start playing? And when did you kind of realize you're pretty good at this?
Yeah, so I started playing football. I think I was like in first grade. I was playing, just a regular kid playing football on the street with my friends in the neighborhood. And you had this guy just come up. Like we threw the ball in his grass. As a little kid, you don't want to just step in somebody's grass. So he came outside. He picked the ball up. We all thought he was about to yell at us and stuff, but he told us to huddle up around. He started speaking some football to us. His name was Coach Duran, Pee Wee coach. He ended up being my Pee Wee coach. Took me in. And pretty much just changed my life. He's still with me now. He was with me at the Legacy Bowl. Pretty much calls me every day. We text every day. He's pretty much my mentor. Kind of just took me in and just showed me the way.
Wow, man. Wow. That's awesome that you were able to keep a relationship that long with someone that kind of introduced you to the game. Now, you grew up in Texas, man. What is football like in Texas? What like you always talk about football as a religion in Texas. Just tell me about that, both from little league, high school, even through college.
Yeah, little league, it's just an amazing feeling. You don't know much. You're just a little kid running around, but it keeps adding on and on, like I said, with Coach Duran, he stayed with me through the whole process, then high school came around. It was really my sophomore year. I started getting a lot of recognition from colleges. I didn't really know too much about what to do when it came to like scholarship and stuff. So, I just kept in contact with Coach Duran and my head coach from high school, Coach Brown. They kind of just took me in and took care of me, kind of just walked me through, where to go, where not to go, what to do and stuff like that. Then when it came to the college round, it was just like, you got that support system with you the whole way. And we're talking about, football in Texas. Like everybody talks about football from Texas, if anywhere else, maybe Cali and Florida, but when it comes to Texas football, there's nothing that can beat that. There's nothing that can, compare with Texas football. We're so competitive and we're aggressive, man. So it's different.
Yeah, and they have high school stadiums to seat like 20, 30, 40,000 people. I mean, it's hard to like compete with that. That's pretty insane. Now, playing high school football in Texas, there's a lot of top prospects that come out of there. Who were some of the best players in high school that you faced off against, and what are those guys? I mean, if you say the name, I'm sure we'll know what they're doing now. But who were some of those top guys you played in high school?
So when I was playing, you got guys like Jet Duffy. He played at Texas Tech. I think he just finished up at Hampton University now. You got guys like that. There's a lot of people that played football, but they moved around and then they played basketball and baseball and stuff like that. But I want to give my shout out to Jeff just because like he was a quarterback. He's a different guy. Like me and him, we were always competing when it came to our league and division. But shout out to him.
Now, Michael, your football career, like even if you're the best of the best, it ends. It's not very long as far as a professional career. If you do 10 years, it's really good, but you'll be mid-30s. So what is life? I mean, I want you to look ahead. What are some of the things that you enjoy that you plan on doing once football is over?
Yeah, I think my biggest thing is being like a recruiting coordinator for college sports or like pro sports. That's my biggest thing about Texas Southern. Like I like the connections I built and friends I made when I was at TSU. Just because, when I'm done with ball, I can go back to them and say, hey, like, I'm done playing. Remember you said, XYZ. Oh, yeah, I got that for you. Let's go. Let's do this. I always wanted to be a recruiting coordinator just because I've been in those shoes before of being in the transfer portal, not knowing where to go, or just feeling like you're not getting enough love. So I want to be that guy in that position to, put prospects where they need to be.
Now, Michael, you talked about the transfer portal. Is it kind of like scary sometimes being in there and not knowing whether you're going to be able to find a new home to continue to play football? What's it like being in that transfer portal? Now, we always see like some of the top guys like just find a new school just like that, but it's not that easy for everyone. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, like you said, it's not that easy for everyone. From being at a big school and you think you're gonna go to another big school. For me, it wasn't like that. From a big schools and trying to find somewhere else to go, it is a tough spot. It's like a lonely spot. You feel like you're alone, and you feel like nobody cares about you or you have no support. But at that point, somebody's gonna find you. It's not the end of the world. You just have to keep digging. You have to keep going. Like my dad and my mama would say, everything happens for a reason. So when you're in that portal or when you're in that situation, you're going to find a solution. You just got to keep pushing.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. So you say you want to after ball's done, you want to be a recruiting coordinator. What is it about you and your personality that you make that lets you know that you'll be really good at getting a kid to come to Texas Southern, man, and ball out in the SWAC and beat Grambling and Alcorn and all those other SWAC teams?
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy just because not just the way I play, but the way my teammates play. Like obviously you see the overall look with Texas Southern, the record, obviously it wasn't so pretty. But if you see the little things, the bond, the relationship that we made, you'll see that anybody would want to come there and be a part of playing at Texas Southern. I think that was just my biggest thing. I can bring somebody on like I said, they named me team captain ever since I stepped in at Texas Southern. They named me a team captain. So I think that opens the door too for other recruits to know that you can come in here, you can be a team captain too. You can come in here and you can start. Like you can come in here and make an impact real quick. So I would use my examples from what I did and from what other players did for, future players that want to come play here.
Now, what do you think is the future? Because, like you said, the record wasn't the best at Texas Southern, but I feel like Texas Southern is getting more notoriety. Obviously, we know that Hall of Famer Michael Strahan went to Texas Southern. What is it? What will need to take place for Texas Southern to take that next step in a SWAC that is getting more and more competitive each and every single day, from the recruiting to the coaches to the facility upgrades? What is it about Texas Southern that they'll need to do to take that next step?
Yeah, the SWAC is tough, man. People just overlook it. A lot of people still overlook it, man. It's a tough conference, but when it comes to like TSU, getting to the next level, it all comes down to like just relationships and bonding. The coaches can only coach. It's up to the players. So the players got to come up with a bond. You got to do a lot of stuff outside of football. Main event, something that y'all bond together, and that bond will take you wherever.
Absolutely, absolutely. Once again, we're talking to Michael Badejo out of Texas Southern, NFL draft prospect. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Now, Michael, I'll get you out on this, man. If you had just one word to say all 32 teams in the NFL and also all the teams in the USFL, XFL, whatever, if they were listening right now, just tell them what kind of player, what kind of person, what kind of man are they getting in Michael, and how would you be able to benefit their organization?
Yeah, most definitely. You're going to get a guy that's going to run to the football no matter what. I'm going to play to the whistle's blown. I'm very relentless, and I'm an aggressive guy. I make my presence known on the field no matter what. This is just what I want to do. So being able to get drafted or being able to get a chance to play at the next level from an HBCU is a big deal. And it's not just about me. It's about the people that's below me, people that's about to be in my same situation in a year or two. So I kind of just want to open doors for them as well, not just for me. So I want these leagues to know that it's not just about me. It's for my city back home, Arlington, Texas. It's for my people. And I got a big heart. So I'm going to let them know, it's just not for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, Michael, man, best of luck to you. Appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your time. Once again, we're talking to Michael Badejo out of Texas Southern. He is an NFL professional football draft prospect. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button on your way out, and we will see you next time.